Revenge of the Sith, we got the biggest turning point in the Star Wars universe, Order 66, where Anakin cut off Mace Windu's hand and Sidious threw him out the window. It was after this that Anakin was dubbed as Darth Vader. The entire conversation from the novel is quite different from what we got in the film. Palpatine was actually a lot more manipulative in the book, where Anakin would say things like he was unsure and that it was hard for him to turn so quickly because he was a Jedi for so long. This was where Palpatine would say that it basically comes down to him choosing between the Jedi and Padme's life. This is where Anakin basically accepted his new role as a Sith Lord, and Sidious told him to wipe out the Jedi at the Temple and then go to Mustafar, to the secret base where the Separatist leadership remained. As Anakin marched to the Temple with the 501st clones behind him, which later on became Vader's fist, they left no creature alive, as Sidious literally ordered for him to do in the novel. Now, something I'm going to also mention before we continue with the video is that in one of the original scripts, one of the drafts for the scripts for Revenge of the Sith, George Lucas had written that Sidious reveals that he was actually Anakin's father. Now, it's not super clear in the script if Palpatine was actually telling the complete truth or if it was Plagueis that created him, but it would seem, with Palpatine's manipulations, that he was definitely saying that, hey, I created you. Even going as far as saying, you could basically call me your father. Now, I've made a video of that in the past, but for today's video, we want to talk about the first person that Anakin killed during the Jedi Temple, and it gets a little graphic, so be warned. Gate Master Jurok sprinted through the empty vaulted hallway, clattering echoes of his footsteps making him sound like a platoon. The main doors of the temple were slowly swinging inward in answer to the code key punched into the outside lockpad. The Gate Master had seen him on the monitor, Anakin Skywalker, alone. The huge doors creaked inwards. As soon as they were wide enough for the Gate Master to pass, he slipped through. Anakin stood in the night outside, shoulders hunched, head down against the rain. "Anakin!" he gasped, running up to the young man. "Anakin, what happened? Where are the Masters?" Anakin looked at him as though he wasn't sure who the Gate Master was. "Where is Shoutout?" "In the meditation chambers. We felt something happen in the Force. Something awful. She's searching the Force in deep meditation, trying to get some feel for what's going on." His words trailed away. Anakin didn't seem to be listening. "Something has happened, hasn't it?" Jurok looked past him now. The night beyond the temple was full of clones, battalions of them, brigades, thousands. "Anakin," he said slowly, "what's going on? Something's happened. Something horrible. How bad is it?" The last thing Jurok felt was the emitter of a lightsaber against the soft flesh beneath his jaw. The last thing he heard, as blue plasma chewed up upward through his head and burst out from the top of his skull and burned away his life, was Anakin Skywalker's melancholy reply. "You have no idea." So obviously, as we can see, the Gate Master was killed within an instant, and it's pretty dark. The rest of the novel is extremely dark like this as well, and George Lucas was even going to go as far as putting dead younglings on the floor of the Jedi Temple. But he thought that would be a little bit too dark, and so he cut that out. Now, you're probably wondering who this Jurok guy is. Well, he's a bit of a funny story. See, he was in the Revenge of the Sith novel, then he was in the Complete Star Wars Encyclopedia in 2008, but later then he was retconned in 2012 to ever have appeared in Revenge of the Sith, but he was in the book and remains in print to this day, so I find it a bit confusing as to why he was plucked out in 2012 randomly. Jurok was trusted to watch over the defense of the Jedi Temple as the Gate Master. When Mace Windu left with the other Jedi Masters to arrest Palpatine, he ended up telling Shoutout and Jurok to watch over the defenses of the temple. However, even though he was attuned to the Force, Jurok couldn't sense that Skywalker had turned to the dark side and was slain without a chance to defend himself. Now, of the hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of Jedi that Anakin or Darth Vader has gone to kill in his life, Jurok was amongst the first that he actually killed. And for those who think he killed Mace Windu, well, he didn't. He took his hand off, and then, well, we know the rest of the story. Palpatine finished the job. But this was actually the first Jedi that he killed, which opened their way to the temple, and then they executed Order 66 on everyone, including the younglings. It was after this that Anakin went to Mustafar and then battled Obi-Wan, later turning into the masked man we all know, love, and fear, Darth Vader. I hope you guys enjoyed this legends or canon or whatever it is. I hope you enjoyed this information. Please let me know what else you'd like for me to cover from the Revenge of the Sith novel. I actually really miss covering prequels content, I haven't covered it in so long because we have episode 9 coming out, and I've kind of just been covering lore stuff, and I miss it, man. I really miss covering prequels. It's literally my favorite era in Star Wars. I would say it's tied with the originals, to be honest, because I grew up with both of them. And I'd love to be covering some more prequels, which I always did in the past. So let me know what you'd like to see. I'll make it happen. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill